glanced out the window without thinking, but what he saw caught him off guard. The boss's driver was secretly drinking alcohol. At the same time, the boss was already on his way downstairs. Ben wasn't planning to get involved, but his strong sense of responsibility wouldn't let him just walk away, so he stepped outside and said to the driver,
I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable, but I just happened to have looked out the window and it appeared you were drinking something from a paper bag.
Ben gave the driver two options. Either he tell the boss himself that he couldn't drive, or Ben would be the one to say something. The driver hesitated. Still, he forced a smile and opened the door for the boss like nothing had happened. But when he met Ben's serious gaze, he gave in, saying he wasn't feeling well and asked to take the day off. Just like that, Ben ended up driving the boss himself. He got him safely to his destination. As the boss stepped out of the car, he casually mentioned he was feeling a bit hungry, so while he waited, Ben went and bought him breakfast. It was just a small gesture, but it left a deep impression. What the boss didn't know was that this kind, thoughtful man used to be the chairman of a printing company, and the only reason he applied for this job was because he saw an ad for senior interns while grocery shopping. Ben didn't need the money. He just wanted something meaningful to do with his time. He'd been retired for years. His children had their own lives, and ever since his wife passed away, he'd been feeling more alone than ever. He spent 3 years traveling the world, trying to fill the void, but every time he came home, the silence hit him harder. He loved learning new things. He enjoyed being around young people. From the outside, it seemed like Ben's retirement was already full, but deep down, he felt like something was missing. So in his 70s, Ben made a bold decision. He applied to be an intern at this company. With 40 years of experience under his belt, he got the position with no trouble. Ben took the job seriously, but on his first day, he ran into a problem. He didn't know how to use the company's new laptop. He couldn't even find the power button. Thankfully, a nearby co-worker noticed and quietly helped him. Ben had joined a fast-growing women's fashion e-commerce company. Its founder, Jules, had built it from a 20-person startup into a company with over 200 employees. In just 18 months, her success came from relentless drive and attention to detail. From product packaging to logistics, Jules oversaw everything herself. To save time, she even rode a bike through the office, forcing her assistant to jog just to keep up. So when people found out Ben had been assigned to assist Jules, they couldn't help but feel sorry for him. She had a reputation for being tough. Working under her wasn't easy, but Ben stayed calm and confident. He showed up at her office on time, ready to work. To his surprise, Jules told him the company only hired senior interns as part of a community program. There wasn't any real work plan for him. In fact, she suggested moving him to a quieter department. But Ben spoke up. He said he wasn't here to sit around and collect a paycheck. Seeing how serious he was, Jules promised to find something for him to do. Then she dismissed him. Ben didn't waste any time. He stayed late every day, waiting until Jules left before heading home himself. Days went by, but still no assignments came in. Even so, Ben never got discouraged. He helped wherever he could. He shared his sales knowledge with younger co-workers. Jules began to notice Ben wasn't just busy, he cared. Then one day, she finally gave him a task. It was a small one: take her dirty laundry to get cleaned. But Ben treated it like a real responsibility. What he didn't know was that Jules was having a rough day. The company had grown too fast, and the investors wanted to bring in a new CEO, someone to take some of the weight off her shoulders. But to Jules, this felt like handing over the company she had built from scratch. She didn't want help. She didn't want to share control. Still, deep down, she knew she was burning out. She didn't have much of a choice. As the conversation played out in her office, Ben came in quietly to pick up the laundry. He didn't say a word, didn't ask any questions. He just took the bag and walked out. Later, the secretary asked what had happened inside. Ben simply said, "I didn't hear anything." Bad ears. He'd been in the business world long enough to know when to speak and when to stay silent. That moment gave him a new perspective on Jules. Beneath her tough exterior, there was someone vulnerable, someone doing her best. Ben decided to help however he could. There was a cluttered table in the office where everyone dumped random stuff. It had become a total mess. One of Jules's biggest pet peeves. The next morning, when she arrived at work, the table was spotless. Turns out, Ben had come in at 7 a.m. to clean it himself. Jules was genuinely moved. She praised Ben in front of everyone. The team gave him a round of applause. With his charm and experience, Ben had earned their respect. But things didn't stay smooth for long. One morning, Ben went to pick up Jules like usual. He rang the bell, then turned to wait by the car. To his surprise, Jules's husband opened the door and warmly invited him in for coffee. Ben politely declined at first, but the man insisted, so Ben stepped inside. There, he met Jules's daughter. It was their first meeting, but the little girl immediately liked him. When Jules saw Ben in her home, she was shocked. She valued her privacy, and to her, this felt like a line had been crossed. She didn't say anything, but on the ride to work, she sent a text to HR. She asked them to reassign Ben. She felt he could read her too easily, that he saw through her in ways others didn't. But to Ben, she was just his boss, and someone he genuinely admired. He respected her drive. He appreciated her passion. She even went to the warehouse, just to supervise something as small as packaging. Maybe that's why she had succeeded. One night, Jules stayed late at the office. When she finally looked up, Ben was still at his desk. She realized he was waiting for her, so she grabbed some food and shared it with him. It was the first time they had a real conversation. Ben told her he used to work in a printing factory factory. Suddenly, Jules remembered, this building used to be a printing factory. That's when she realized, this company now stood in the exact place where Ben had spent 40 years of his life. This wasn't just a job to him, it was home. After all that time, he'd returned, this time as the intern. That night, Jules felt something shift. Ben's stories were funny, thoughtful, and full of heart. For the first time, she fell asleep in the car, completely at ease. It was a sign of trust. The next morning, Jules headed to work in high spirits, but as soon as she got in the car, she realized something was off. There was a different driver. Only then did she remember. She had reassigned Ben. Regret hit her immediately. The new driver didn't know the route. He almost caused an accident. Eventually, Jules had to drive herself. Once she got to the office, her first thought was to find Ben, apologize, and bring him back. But Ben wasn't there. She asked around, looking for him everywhere, and that's when she uncovered a secret that would change her life forever. Want to know what happens next? Follow me. I'll tell you the rest of the story very soon.